Can you tell us a little bit about your take on what is going on along the southern border in terms of the large number of asylees and other potential migrants on the other side of the border trying to get into this country? Do you have any qualms about what we're doing about border security, and how are we going to move forward on these issues?
Yeah, there's just very few issues that are as politicized as the border. And I think, frankly, all sides are guilty of politicizing what, could and should and does go on at our border. Yeah. So I think the easiest thing to understand about the southern border is that our immigration system is broken.
Yes.
People are walking from their country, right? Thousands of miles sometimes, risking life and limb, selling everything they have in order to pay some really unsavory folks to get them to the border and over. And they're doing that because at the same moment that we are desperate for people to work in so many of our jobs across the country. Mm-hmm. That means the system is broken. And it's not working for anybody, right? It's not working for the employers in the United States who are looking for vetted legal labor to hire. And in Michigan, the farmers, the tourism industry, right? I mean, just unbelievable how many folks are looking for folks to hire right now. It's not working for the immigrants who are risking life and limb and selling everything they have to come and make this journey, dangerous journey. It is certainly not working for Customs and border protection. I mean, all the folks who work on that southern border, borders that are meant to cover max 3,500 people a day coming through are now routinely being going to be asked to do 8,000 people, up to 18,000 people. I mean, that's overwhelming what that community is trying to do. And then it's not working for the people who are legitimately fearing death and persecution at home and are seeking asylum in a country that, because of our history and our morals, allows people to come here when they are fearing death and persecution. So it's broken, and both parties bear responsibility for that. We do not have an immigration system that works for anyone. So that you have to have a system that incentivizes coming here to work legally, where you can apply and get in from your home country. Mm-hmm. For those economic migrants. And then, of course, always remaining a place where if you're truly in at real danger, right, that you could come here. So I literally had breakfast this morning with the Secretary of Homeland Security, Ali Mayorkas, and we were talking about this very thing. Right now, we don't have nearly as many people coming over the border as we usually would at this time because we have COVID restrictions on. Mm-hmm. The minute those are lifted in May, it's going to be, again, a series of overwhelmed border crossings. And I can't support that, right? I can't support ripping off a Band-Aid and not having a plan to stem the blood flow, right? So in any case, it's a shame on the U.S. Congress. It was a shame on the prior administration and the current administration that we don't rally to do something, particularly since our economy could really use an infusion of legal workers.
Mm-hmm. And, there comes a point, too, where it's almost anti-capitalistic to have large numbers of undocumented people who will work for lower wages than a citizen, or even the huge number of guest workers, 3 to 4% of our labor force prior to COVID, who are in some cases almost indentured servants. And how is that fair to citizens who want to, or to anyone who wants to be able to cross the street and get a higher wage? So yes, there's so much room for reform in our immigration system. So thank you for saying that.
And I would just say, just because you mentioned the Homeland Security Committee, every country in the world has the right to know who's coming in our borders.
Absolutely.
Right? Illegally coming and crossing a river and coming into the United States. We have every right to know whether someone is a danger to us, whether someone is a public health risk to us. Like, we have every right to know that. But it gets, everything about the southern border gets politicized. So I sponsored a bill that's trying to provide a different way at securing and looking and getting intelligence on what's going on at the border. It's not a wall that's going to keep us safe. It's understanding and having like a full intelligence picture of what's going on with these criminals who are bringing people over, the whole thing. So I think It needs some really different thinking and some open-mindedness to come up with a solution that works.